morning, everybody. Welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, niche news show, manga, anything that interests either Baku and I. We're going to talk about it. Normally, we stream this little show of ours every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, but Baku and I are a little bit behind by, just like 48 hours or so. But as I said in my tweet, letting everybody know that we would be delayed, a delayed podcast is eventually a good one. A quote from the famous Abraham Lincoln. So
yes.
Be sure to hype responsibly for this episode. But tell you what, guys, we are going to talk about some trailers. We're going to talk about some rumors, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Baku, how have you been this week?
Hungover.
Hang on a second. Baku, yes. You look older.
Yes, you're looking at Baku version 3.6 right now.
Ew. I hope that never happens to me in a month.
Yeah. SuperDerek version 3.6 in a month, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Listen, Baku version 3.6 has gotten wider, but not gotten wiser. So that's
I know.
Just more girth, more mass.
He's a growing boy, just not upward anymore.
Yes, definitely growing sideways. Not what I want.
Oh, man. So happy birthday, belated, of course. And,
thank you.
On behalf of all of the viewers who are joining us on our non-standard day, thank you everybody, by the way, for being here on a Tuesday. Thanks for being here, guys. It's great to have such a wonderful group of viewers and listeners just to hang out, even though it's not our standard time. It's good to have you all here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What have you been up to this week, Baku? I know that just the last couple of days we've been nursing a hangover and partying hard, but prior to that, what were you up to this week?
Let's see. Prior to this week, I'm still working on Persona 4 Golden over at Twitch. Links down below. And we're getting closer to completing. I've been slacking on doing YouTube videos over at YouTube/Weepsauce.
I wouldn't know what that's
news. Yeah, I've been slacking lately, and I feel really bad because and coming from the Twitch world, right? Twitch is like you stream, people watch, they follow you, once you do things. YouTube's more like you put a video up and then like a month later someone might watch and decides to follow, right? I'm not used to that. Yeah, I'm not putting anything new. Stop following me, please. I'm sorry. I feel this guilt. People are like, oh yeah, let me hit that follow button. I didn't give you anything new to follow to.
The guilt only gets worse. Let me tell you that much. The more people that follow you, the worse it gets.
So it's been hurting me a little bit, but otherwise, just got a new job. So because this is, believe it or not, I know it's hard to believe, but this is actually not our real job.
Baku, day job. Congratulations on getting a new job, dude.
Yeah, birthday and new job, man. It's a lot of changes, and then this whole new YouTube thing, just a whole lot of changes all at once. I tend to do that to myself. So taking some time to adjust. So that's also the reason why there hasn't been videos, but there will be some coming. I have all those things written. I just need to film it out. So yeah.
I believe in you, man.
Derek knows what it's like.
I do.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
how about you, man?
I have been working away at a new episode of the game collection. Finally, my episode of Golden Sun is ready for early access. Yeah. But unlike video games, my early access videos do actually come out. But right now, anybody who's subscribed to me on Twitch or supporting the show via Patreon or here through channel members already have access to the review and can enjoy it immediately. But otherwise, I think it's going to come out maybe Friday. I'm not entirely sure, but
gotcha.
I've got, even though I haven't been, okay, so I've put that video together. Finally, I've wanted to get that off my plate for a while. Started working on my review of Chrono Cross, and then out of the blue, I got 2 game codes for 2 games that I am going to review around launch.
Oh,
that happened before the end of the month. So it's a tough time and I'm just like, I have so much to do. Luckily, I got my recording setup all put back together. Unfortunately, I
Nice.
cannot stream any of the games because they're all still under embargo,
Mhm.
which means if I'm gonna play through them to get any amount of footage, I still can't stream on Twitch yet.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
it hurts because I feel
So
the
you
same way
so you can't
about
talk about them either, right? At all?
I cannot. I
Okay.
cannot even I don't even think I can mention which ones that I'm referring to.
Mm,
But keep your eyes peeled for some day one footage for a couple of games that I'm pretty excited for. So make sure
nice.
you yeah, stick around for that. So yeah, that's what I've been up to is all kinds of stress. But
Stress is good until it kills
hey,
you.
that's true. Uh, so Baku, would you like to tell us what today's top headline is, in your opinion?
In my humble opinion, MetaMax being sold to Cygames, that's pretty big. It's a 30 years old franchise just sold just like that. So
Yeah, it
we'll
is.
talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's I didn't even realize how much of a pedigree Metal Max had until I recently saw something like the evolution of their art over the last like 20 years, and it's like it
Hmm.
starts off on I mean, I didn't look too far into it, but it looks like it
Hmm.
starts off on like the NES or something, or maybe Famicom or Super Famicom. But yeah, Metal Max, quite the
It's a
pedigree.
long running series that not too many people talk about, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it today. You're gonna learn about it.
Yeah, you're gonna learn yourself something. But before that, we have some discussions from the previous episode of Hit Point to talk about. So
Yes.
kick us off here, Baku.
All right, we've got a comment from Zach Holston who says, "Given to the hype. We need some Golden Sun." Well, I would love a new game. I think realistically, we would get the 1+2 bundle to test the waters. Or maybe a Rune Factory situation where they talked about the Rune Factory 4 port with a release window, then surprise people with an announcement of the fifth game.
Hmm.
Yes. So, thank you so much for the comment. And yeah, I agree. I'm inclined to think that the model that works now is do a
Yeah,
remaster
drum
and
up some
then see
hype.
how that goes, and if it's good then do something new.
Yeah,
Square Enix has tried it with the Mana series, and I think that worked out for them. Although they didn't do like a new game per se, they have completely remade well, now Trials of Mana. So
that's true.
that's definitely not like just like a HD like remaster. They rebuilt the entire thing from the grounds up, basically. So and that worked out. They jumped up some hype with the collection. They released one and two, and then boom, the third one was like a complete remake, and everyone loved it. So
Well, I
yes.
just want to say, oh, I am definitely hyped for the possibility of a Golden Sun, anything at this point. However, I am hyping responsibly. That's the whole key. I'm excited, but I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get my hopes up and then be crushed when we don't hear something about it. I am,
Hmm.
the appropriate amount. The hype parameters are nominal at this point. Let's say that, and and then yes, I am hyped.
It
That
takes a
is.
true master in hype to control just have just the right level
Oh
of
yeah,
hype.
oh yeah.
Yeah, not be too little, but also not too much hype. Speaking of, what happened all to all the hype responsibilities? Are we getting more of those? Is that happening?
Actually do still have some of them available in both
Mm.
mint green and ice blue over at shop.superderekrpgs.com. I didn't plan to drop that, but hey, let's go ahead and throw that out there anyway. Um,
I'm not gonna lie. I really like the mint green. Get the mint green, guys. Get the mint green.
the mint green is pretty stylish, but I know that some people are just not into that. And some people are really just not into light colors at all. So even though there's a mint green and ice
Hmm.
blue, I also went ahead and got some darker shirts, including our black
Ooh,
HitPoint shirt and the
oh,
SuperDerek
that's right.
logo
That's the thing.
tee on dark gray heather. And yeah, it is a thing. but I I save it for special occasions.
Yes. Okay, there's our sponsored today.
All right, we got another another message here from
Mhm.
Jackson Holden, who says, "Wait, what? You're the RPG guy and you're not playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on release day? It's only unanimously praised as the greatest RPG of the entire generation on Switch, sitting on 89 out of 100 on Metacritic. If that ain't good enough for you, you might need to hand the reins over to your compadre over there, who at least seems to understand how great the series is."
I just had to pick this one because I'm just like, okay, you talking smack, man. You talk this guy talking smack. But just know that I'm also not playing on day one, so it's neither of us are playing on day one. So when I read that, I'm like, is he talking about me? Is he talking about you? Like, what's going on?
I think he
Or
was.
maybe
I think he was referring to me needing to give the reins over to you. So
oh geez, please don't.
here you go.
I don't want to make review videos and then be guilty about not releasing review videos.
And and
I'm good.
I and the dumb thing is, like, what I take issue with from this comment
Mhm.
isn't like this whole like, oh, you're not a real RPG fan if you don't play this, kind of like No True Scotsman. I feel like that's kind
Mhm.
of what he's going for here.
Yeah.
But what bugs me is like, you're the RPG guy. I'm like, I'm not the RPG guy. I am a RPG guy who
Yeah.
I never ever even claimed to be good at RPGs. I just really enjoy them. That's my
That's
shtick. I
true.
just enjoy RPGs. So I will get to Xeno series at some point, but I've really meant to, for the longest time, to go through Xeno Gears, which I did,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
Xeno Saga, which I don't know if I'll ever be able to at the current market price of Xenoblade,
Yeah.
but
Oof.
I know that they're not even connected, but I like to see the evolution of a developer over time. And it's like,
That's true.
and it's just becoming even more and more daunting the more I put off and do it. But I
Mhm.
will, I think, just jump into Xenoblade at some point. When that is, though, I don't know. And I'm probably going to do it in order. There's no way that I could have possibly played Xenoblade 3 on launch day with that sort of mentalism that I have. So, whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, I we talk about this over at my channel, and I think at this point, the amount of game content there is, even just in JRPG, never mind any other RPGs there are, just JRPGs, probably already exceed our natural lifetime.
Oh,
So
yeah.
whenever we're like, "Oh, well, this game is amazing," and not talking about Jackson here necessarily, but just some other folks who come in and say, "Oh, you haven't played this game? Well, you've got to play this game. It's amazing. It's a classic. Yada yada." And I my response is that's fine, but go look at my backlog. Tell me which one I should remove because all the things on my backlog are all amazing games that are worth my time, and they're all classic or classic to be.
Hmm.
So what are we exchanging, right? Like how am I supposed to get through all this? Just a limited amount of time to get through this stuff,
I
right?
know.
So we got to pick and choose.
And another way
So
that you could
yes.
think about that is that time is money, right? And
Yeah.
the longer an RPG is, the more it costs you in time, which you could be applying to or other things. So like if say like you were playing through a 100-hour RPG, like
Hmm.
how much, like if you made $20 an hour times 100 hours, that would be like $2,000 worth of like value of your time that like you're
Hmm.
not applying towards something else. So it's like I hate to like boil everything down to a number like that, but like at a certain point, you can't afford the time to play every RPG that everybody says that you should, especially especially when you get to a certain point and you get a lot of suggestions all of the time.
Oh God, yeah. About every other stream or so, I'll get someone's like, "Oh, have you played this game before?" I'm like, "No, I have not played it for whatever reason." Well, you've got to play it. It's a classic. Oh my God,
You're
like
Baku,
forget
you're the
everything else.
JRPG guy.
No, I'm just a person. Also, for anyone who's interested in knowing what Derek just described, is called opportunity cost.
Hey,
That's the
that's
real thing.
exactly right.
Yes,
So
I have an economics degree just to tell you that.
gotta use that every once in a while.
I know, because I don't use that in real life. My econ degree is worthless for my
Uh,
day-to-day work, but every now and then I have these little nuggets of knowledge.
we have another message here. It's not a message that I get to read out loud though, because it's one that was left on our voicemail, which we have a voicemail
Voicemail.
number. You can leave us a voicemail at 785-337-3805, and you can have it played on the air just like this one.
Hey, how you doing, HitPoints? Just curious what you guys' thoughts on possibly a Phantasy Star remake. You know, a lot of these companies have been coming out, well, mostly Square Enix with the HD, 3D, 2D sprite stuff. I think the Phantasy Star series is well deserved for that kind of remake treatment. Of course, Sega's in a terrible place in terms of I don't know what's going on with that company, but maybe if there's fan demand for it, you know, we could get something like that going. Anyway, all the best. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much for that voicemail.
All right.
So Baku, what is going on with Sega?
When it comes to Fantasy Star, I think they are working on Fantasy Star Online 2, like
Yeah.
PSO2. Yeah. I think that's where that like resource is going to. When that is when they're not getting like, bombed on for like any Sonic games that they release. I mean, Sega's not in a bad place. Quite the opposite. I mean,
They're kind of
Atlas
in a
is a
confused place.
subsidiary.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
bought
Atlas is doing
Alice.
amazing. What do you mean? Yakuza the RGG. So the what's Nier Automata studio? Yeah, RGG
Hmm.
studio. They're doing amazing. So, and that's still Sega. So no, Sega's actually not doing bad at all. It's just Sonic, and yeah,
Yeah.
and PSO actually has a pretty good fan base
Yeah,
too.
they do.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel
PSO
like
too. Yeah.
at this point also Sega seems to be pretty content with porting their games via like the Sega collections that they put out every once in a
Mm-hmm.
while,
Yep.
which are pretty masterful actually. When you like look at all of the various options that they put out these like Sega Genesis Classics collections pretty much on every console that exists.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
have ways that you can play them with different kind of filters, and like the emulation is
Mm-hmm.
pretty rockin' from what I've seen. So I feel
Yeah.
like they might not be super keen on like doing the remaster treatments for a lot of their 16 and 8-bit era RPGs like the Phantasy Star games,
Mm-hmm.
because these games kind of pad out some of their collections that they sell, which are honestly relatively inexpensive and not a bad
Yeah.
way to go about things, especially considering the price of a lot of these Phantasy Star games at this point. I still need to get my hands on a copy of PSO, or just PS4, Phantasy
Mm-hmm.
Star 4. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the idea to redo these games is a good one. We've already seen success in that field, right? Of
yeah.
course, there will always be someone who says, "Leave my game alone. Don't touch it. I like the old one just the way it is.
Hey,
Just make it
those
HD."
people don't have to
Yeah, and I
buy the
hear all
new
the time.
thing.
Yeah,
Those people
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to buy the new thing.
that's what I was gonna say. It's like, yeah, and you don't
Yeah,
have to buy the new one. You don't have to buy the remake. And as long as they're willing to conserve the old game, which is basically what they're doing now with these collections,
yeah.
go, feel free to give us something new and surprise us, right? Like redo a classic. And HD2D is not like the only way to go, of course. They could go a number of ways.
They could.
Yeah, like Trials and Manners, a full 3D remake on a completely different engine, and that was successful. HD2D is another thing. There are many ways to go about it. So,
There's also
uh,
the upscaled graphics style. There's
mhm,
what Grandia did, or Gung Ho
yeah,
did to Grandia rather, where they kind of applied some sort of smudge effect to the
mhm.
graphics, which not I'm not a fan of that. You can do what Square Enix did before they discovered the art of HD 2D and
Yeah.
remade Trigger and Final Fantasy VI really poorly on PC.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole pixel
There are lots of
remaster thing.
options. I'm just saying,
There are a lot of options.
at
Yeah,
this point, I feel like
some better than others.
a lot of people really like what they've been doing with the HD 2D, because
Oh yeah.
it seems like they're not just trying to shoehorn something,
Mhm.
oh, we'll just do a low effort sprite upres and kick it out there. And it's like, no, when you do HD 2D, you have to do more than the bare
Oh yeah.
minimum.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, heck, we're talking about graphics right now, but the music is typically completely redone, right? So it's a
Oh
whole
yeah.
lot of things. Sprites, sprite works, of course, portraits, new art. It's a lot of things. All the UI needs to be overhauled, but I think it's worth it. I
Yeah.
think it's worth it. If they can test the water and people say, "Hey, we want this," I don't see why they wouldn't go for it.
Yeah. Well, guys,
Yeah.
thank you again for that voicemail. And if you would like to leave us a voicemail at some point, you may do so at 785-337-3805. Otherwise, if you're an international viewer and those international dialing fees are just too high, and I totally understand if they are, because
Mhm.
they are, you could also just send us a voice file over to hitpoint@superderekRPGs.com, and that'll work as well.
All right. So, shall we get started, Mr. Derek?
Get down to business.
Get down to business. You know how much news accumulated while we didn't do that show for like 2 days?
Yeah.
None. So
Really?
basically,
None?
all the news that we're going to talk about today, actually, except for this one that I'm talking about right now that came out
Okay.
today, the rest of them were already there for last show, and you will see it's a lot. So let's start with this one. Ghostwire Tokyo. You might have heard of that game. Tango Gameworks announced that in celebrating the Japanese holiday Obon, the company will release a free update for Ghostwire Tokyo. The update will add a jinbei costume as well as Japanese sparklers. Both are purely cosmetic and 100% free. So
Hey.
we like free stuff. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's cosmetic. Yeah, but it's free.
Yeah.
Are you complaining about free stuff? By the way, Derek, do you know what Obon is?
No.
No, this is the teaching moments to everybody who may not know what Obon is.
Oh, somebody just
That's
watch.
my
Somebody's gonna call
segue.
me not a true weeb because I don't know what an obon
You're
is.
not a tree. You're not a true RPG man if you don't know what.
Hashtag
No,
hashtag not my
hashtag.
weeb.
Yeah, no. Obon is just it's kind of it's a holiday where folks over in Japan would celebrate the deceased. They would have offerings for their ancestors. It's kind of a holiday that kind of came from China, but then they changed it up
Mhm.
quite a bit. As with any like super old holidays from different cultures. So yeah, so that's why it's linked to what is it called? Like a lot of ghost stories because it has to do with honoring the deceased. So
Yeah.
and that's why it's a fitting thing for a game like Ghostwire Japan. Oh, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah. That sounds super cool.
The
Um,
more you know.
we have a game delay that we should talk about here for a moment. Monochrome Mobius, not to be confused with Monochrome Morbius, Rights and Rungs Forgotten, has been delayed here. Aquaplus
Yeah.
announced that this new entry in the Unowareru Mono series will be delayed
Good
from
job.
September 8th to October 20th. The company
Yeah.
cited quality improvement as the primary reason for the delay. What? You didn't think I knew how to pronounce Urawareru Mono?
Just say it 5 times fast.
Urawareru Mono, Urawareru Mono, Urawareru Mono, Urawareru Mono, Urawareru Mono.
That was great. Wow. You really practiced this one.
I have. It's because
You-
I remember
uh,
several episodes ago we actually mentioned the Urawareru Mono series, and and I was talking about how it's got that name that just constantly, like, once I spelt it out in my head, I was like Urawareru Mono, Urawareru Mono. It's just like constantly in my head. I will never forget how to pronounce that name in my mind. So,
Oh,
anyways,
jeez.
The game
Yeah.
is slated for a worldwide release on PC via Steam. It is not known if we will be getting the PS4 and PS5 version outside of Japan, though.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate delays, but hey, like all these other delays that we already talked about,
Hey,
hopefully they come up with like a good game on launch. Like we can wait. We have plenty of games. It's fine. Push it out to next year. Doesn't
yeah.
matter. We have so many games. It's okay.
hmm I believe it was
Alrighty.
Albert Einstein who once said that a delayed game is eventually good.
You sure it wasn't George Washington?
No.
Pretty sure that was a GW classic.
Mm. Yeah, okay.
All right. We've got some upcoming releases that will be coming in the next week. So prepare yourself for a game called Kokoro Clover Season 1. This 2D platformer from Hikoteru follows a character named Treffy, really weird name, who gained the power of Kokoro Clover and must go on an adventure to discover its secret. The game is set to give the feeling of a Sunday morning cartoons, including opening and closing animations and commercial breaks. So it's really
Okay.
interesting. We take a look at that trailer.
I can dig it. Yeah, let's check out this trailer.
Let's do it.
Oh, hang on. That's not the right screen. Let me try that again here in a moment.
I was grooving to the music too.
Oh man, I know. Oh shoot. Yep. I was accidentally sharing my preview screen instead of my here, let's make an adjustment here to my
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Up, 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 up,
Do.
up.
Well, anyways, Baku, while I do this, I don't know, stall.
Yeah, so let's read some comments from all these people. Hi, okay, cool. Oh, Karate Kids, yeah, super awesome. As Derek tries to fix this thing, how are you guys doing tonight? You guys doing all right? Good thing I stream like live stream, so I can like deal with a live crowd, man. Wow, you guys are like just rambunctious, man. Oh my god, look at all these comments
wow,
that
what a
I'm
great
not going
audience.
to read.
Okay.
Sorry, that's an inside joke. I'm just like known to not read comments. Well. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're back. Okay.
Okay, here we go. This looks super cute.
It is.
So
I think the gameplay is kind of like Mega Man kind of gameplay, I think.
oh, okay.
This is straight up like 80s, 90s like cartoon anime.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me
Oh.
of the intro to did you ever watch Welcome to the NHK? The
Yes.
anime. Okay, so
Yes.
are you familiar with Purudin?
Yes.
Okay, so this song kind of reminds me of the song from Purudin. And it actually has a full animated intro on
that
YouTube that you can watch.
generic like that generic anime tune. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
so great.
so self-aware. I love this. But yeah, you get to change color and whatnot. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing like you get different abilities. So that's why I'm like, I feel like this is kind of be like a Mega Man kind of deal,
Ah, dude, that does look pretty rad.
right?
Like, there's no gameplay yet. It's just an intro scene, but it looks cool.
I mean, the game is out in what, 2 days? Tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, the game is out tomorrow, guys. So yeah, go get it.
Yeah.
You know, I will get the game. I'll get the game just to see what it's like, because I could always go for this kind of like one of those in between games, right? Where
Yeah.
you just finish just like
a
100
palate
hours.
cleanser.
Yeah, a palate cleanser. Thank you. They just finished 100-hour RPG. You just need to play something different just to kind of, refresh yourself. So yeah, this feels like one of those games. So season 1 will include 12 episodes. So I'm not sure what 12 episodes mean. I'm just letting you know that that's the case. It's coming out tomorrow, releasing on the Switch and PC via Steam. So pretty good. What is it called? Availability. Right. So PC Master Race and anyone who has the Switch, yeah, get it.
Definitely do. And gosh, report back when you have, because I'm very curious to see exactly what that is.
This is just personally, like, I like games that doesn't take a lot of computing power because I have like a laptop upstairs with like I think it's like a 2060 that I can just play a little bit in between meetings
Your,
sometimes. So like this is perfect.
your laptop has such a better graphics card in it than my gameplay capture computer that I use
Get
to play
out.
Trails.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I've got an RX 480 in my capture computer. Hey, my
Ooh,
editing rig has a 980 Ti. So,
yes. Okay. That works. But
oh man. Anyways, so we have another game coming out here pretty soon called Vanaris Tactics. We
yes.
have a small indie tactical RPG. It's coming from a single Brazilian developer. I think it's Matheus Reyes, called.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it either, but I'm glad you took that on so I don't have to embarrass myself.
I will fall on that sword for you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see. So visually, it looks like a basically Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced kind of game.
Very
It
much so, yeah.
looks pretty rad. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Yes.
Vanaras Tactics.
I mean, if that doesn't scream Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced, well, then you haven't played the game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I could definitely
this
see
is
the
from-
inspirations.
Yeah, this is from a single Brazilian developer, which
Just
is
one dude.
super awesome. Just one guy, yeah.
That's really impressive because, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if you know this, but making video games spans so many talents and areas of knowledge that seldom
Mhm.
overlap. Like, I mean, like I could be a pretty decent artist. I could be a pretty good coder. I could not be great at both. But this
Mhm.
guy looks like he's done a lot of really good work.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he had like, maybe hired some people to do some minor things or not, but that's what I've been told is that this is by a single developer. So
Yeah,
really cool stuff.
maybe the music and stuff. I feel like
Mhm.
that's one area that, like,
Yeah.
even God, it's so weird to me that I've delved into all of these creative spaces. Like I've gone into video production, animation. I've gone into uh, art and all kinds of things. Music is just one of those creative areas that I'm just like a complete idiot when it comes to it. Like, like I love listening to music. I can
Mhm.
recognize things. I have no idea what makes it actually work.
Yeah,
Which sometimes
absolutely.
makes commenting about it in my reviews a little difficult, because I'll be like,
Mhm.
yeah, this music was really swell,
It was great.
except for the ones that sucked.
The ones I didn't like, those were bad.
Yeah. Anyways, so this game's coming out on the 4th, which is just a couple days away. It's coming to PC via Steam, as
Mhm.
well as Good Old Games.
Yes.
And again, that was Vanaris. Vanaris Tactics.
Yes. And as always, anytime we play the trailers are always in the description. So you want to go take a look at it later after
Yeah,
this
bookmark
whole
it.
thing. Yeah, go look at the YouTube trailers, and then follow them. Go to their site. Support indie developers always. Speaking of indie developers, we've got some new game announcements. So this indie title, actually, we took a look at some time ago as part of the indie game incubator. I don't know if you remember this, right? But it's hosted by
Yes,
Marvelous. They take in some
I do remember
uh
this.
yeah, they take in some indie developers and then they showcase them, they hook them up with industry veterans, and the best thing is and also they give them some money to help them develop the game. But the best thing is they still maintain the rights to the game, right? So it's not like they're buying them out. So it's pretty cool. Now this game is called, I think it's called CLAME. because I'm not sure how to pronounce CLAME.
I'd go with claim. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. The developer Nodohara Works announced that the game will launch in 2024 or later. So we don't know when that's going to happen. But just so we refresh our memories, let's take a look at that trailer.
Is this a new trailer or is this the?
This is a new trailer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They're now going beyond the town.
Because I remember them going in this
Doesn't that
area
look
before.
amazing?
I mentioned it before, but this looks like the kind of town that I just want to like explore and get kind of lost in.
Yes. So the story is that you're in kind of like a floating city, and then it's just a whole bunch of clouds down below.
Oh,
You coexist with different races, in this town. Again, so they're finally showing like some forest scenes. Like, you know what I
is that a
really want to
fish?
see is like what kind
Yeah.
of combat they might. Because stealth is fine, but
Stealth is
uh,
fine when a game is designed for it. The worst is
yeah.
when it's not designed for it and it's just kind of shoehorned in.
I feel like they're getting some inspiration from Pokemon Arceus though. Just hiding
Yeah.
in the tall grass. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm not mad at it though. Like the graphics looks amazing. I mean, heck, some of these if bigger studio wants to, they could definitely remake a lot of games in something like this even.
What this does at least tell us is that if this is an RPG, like a turn-based RPG, there won't be there will not be random encounters.
That's true. That's true. I'm hoping for something like Chrono Trigger or some of the later derivatives that like just you just have the combat like right there and then,
That would be
right
pretty
in the
cool.
field. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, but maybe this game has no combat. I don't know.
It
I don't know.
could just be an
Maybe
adventure.
this game has no combat.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. It probably doesn't yet because it's so early in
Mhm.
development, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of room for things to be added and changed and subtracted. So, just right now it's a tech demo. Looks pretty cool though.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I wish there were more to show you all, but I'm just so excited for these indie games, or maybe just like a really small developer, or maybe a group that wants to take it to sort of the next level, right? I definitely want to showcase them some more. So definitely keep them under your radar, and
Mhm.
hopefully the next time we talk about them, there will be more to see.
Chat says it's giving them Final Fantasy IX vibes. I could totally see that.
Ooh, you know what? If they did Final Fantasy 9 remake in a similar style to this, I would
Oh,
definitely dig it.
with the
Yeah.
static camera like that. Oh, that would be
Yes,
perfect. That
I
would
would dig
be.
it. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so we've got another announcement here called White Day, a Labyrinth named School. Publisher P-Cube have announced this cult classic Korean first-person survival horror game. White Day will be released on September 8th of 2022. The game will be available in both physical and digital versions for PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch. The game is immediately available on iOS, Android, PS4, and PC via Steam.
Yes, that's right. So, they originally announced that it was going to be September, sometime in September, but now we're happy to announce that it's going to be early September. It's going to be September 8th. That's the definitive date. And also, I don't know if we talked about this, but it's available on iOS and Android. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty good because, this is not a gotcha game. This is a, buy once, own it game. And I always will support those games. It's just really hard to find good ones that aren't gotcha on mobile phones. But as we talked about previously, we
Yeah.
we have some folks who watch this show who lives in a place where game consoles are hard to come by, or just too expensive to afford, and they have their phones, so they mostly game on their phones. So here
Yeah.
you go. That's to you all who games on the phone. This game is definitely coming out to a phone that you can probably play this game on. So keep an eye out for that.
Awesome.
All right. Now, next game that we have to talk about is called
Academia?
Adventure Academia. I don't
There
know
we go.
why I want to say arcade. Like what? Adventure Academia: The Fractured Continent. So this is a new title from Acquire. I think from the Class of Heroes series. So this is a new
Oh,
beginning. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
And I think the reason why they're changing it is because the gameplay is going to be completely different. Now you still start with the basic like recruit your heroes, make your own heroes, but instead of dungeon crawling, it's going to be more of a strategy RPG. So we now have more information about it since the last time we talked about it. P-Cube again announced that they will actually handle the publishing of this strategy RPG overseas, and they have given us a new translated trailer. So let's take a look at that.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think the last time we looked at it, it might have been in full Japanese.
I think, yeah, I remembered something about Class of Heroes, and it reminded me how Gaijin Works was in they were trying to work on porting the PSP version of the game over a while back, but it hasn't come out, and I haven't heard of Gaijin Works since.
Yeah, this is the new gameplay. So instead of having just like a group of them in like a dungeon crawler situation,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like they just like move on their own. You just like drop them on the map. It's
That
kind
is
of
pretty
cute.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of look like little standee figures as well, like what you use as like game pieces on a board.
Yeah, yes. I kind of like this because, you know, I like different gameplays. Like this definitely looks like a different system that I haven't really seen before, or at least not in the JRPG realm. So anytime they have like a new system like that, I just want to see how they do it. If they do it well, you know.
Yeah.
Seems really cool. I think the other appeal is like you can make your own character. So let's say that, you know, you can put your friends in there. If you're a streamer, you can just like pick your viewers and like throw them on. Like it's kind of like the Darkest Dungeon, but like not the Darkest Dungeon, and not have people dying over and over. But you know, I don't really ever seen people stream the Darkest Dungeon, but like they'll just like pick different people from the viewers and like add them as like playable characters. So you can definitely do something like that if you're a streamer. So, but it's just looks really fun. No official release date yet, still, but according to the Steam page, anyways, the release date is on September 7th. So hopefully that is the case, because that would be great. I am actually really looking forward to this game. The game will be released on PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam. So yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, it is time for me to speak to my strengths here as I cover the subject that is Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. We finally have a release date for the Monster Rancher spinoff, and we have a new trailer to go with it. Now,
Yes.
Monster Rancher, for those of you who don't know, just kidding. Everybody knows who Monster Rancher is.
Do they?
It was an anime on 4Kids TV back in the I think, or was it WB? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
I was being
anymore.
facetious when I said speaking to my strengths. Oh,
Special announcement.
new release date
confirmed.
Oh man, this trailer!
I
like
can't. I love this so much.
The music just makes it such a perfect trailer.
Yeah, and for anyone who might not have seen our previous coverage on this is an Ultraman. Kaijus are sort of the monster in the Ultraman series. And this is a crossover between the Monster Rancher. Okay, no hunting these Monster Rancher franchise. So super cool to see that no one saw this coming. No one saw this coming.
So out of left field, but I think that it works really nicely though for the like for as a crossover. I think that's just really really unique and funny and great. Like just
Yeah, someone said April Fool's joke. If this game came out on April Fool's Day, I would have absolutely,
dude, that would have been
believed it.
hilarious. But yeah,
Yes.
that's what it feels like. It feels like an April Fool's joke that like started off
Mhm,
that way, but then they're like,
mhm.
but what if?
What if? Yeah, it looks great. So I'm also super excited for this one. All right. Now, last but not least, we told you guys in the last show that we will come back to visit this when we get more information.
Yeah.
And the game is called Fuga, Melodies of Steel 2. In fact, you know what? We had a Fuga
2 weeks
thumbnail,
ago.
right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
What, two weeks ago? Was it two? Oh yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. And there were actually people who clicked on it because of that. Like we've got like a game here with really good dedicated fan base, and that's really cool to see.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that this is like a part of like a longer series too, right?
Yeah, the Tail Concerto. Yes. Part of
Right,
the
right.
Tail
Yes.
Concerto series. It starts way back on the PlayStation 1 era.
Wow.
And it actually has like, gosh, I want to say like 4
Four games.
I think 4 games in it, but I could be mistaken about that.
Yeah, good enough. There might be like a handheld here or there you might miss, right? I
Mhm.
don't even know how many games is in that series. So, but this is the newest game, and this sequel will take place 1 year after the true ending of the first game, right? And so, slight spoiler, perhaps. This is on the game page. The Tyrannus, which is a tank from the first game, has gone berserk and took some of the children hostage. The remaining children must board the Tarascus, and rescue their friends. So that's the basic premise to this new game. Let's take a look at that trailer.
Let's. Top secret.
Top secret.
Hang on a second. Let me rewind that for a second. That sound effect at the very beginning of the trailer came straight from. Sorry, I'm distracted. It came straight from Dot Hack GU.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. I mean, they're both by CyberConnect.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. It could be just so iconic that they just decided to use it for like the company sound.
oh, maybe.
Yeah. I think his name is Malt. Like I think he's the main character.
I
like,
think
the
you're
guy.
correct.
Yeah. It looks super good. I still have not played the first game. I've watched people play that first game, and it looks incredible. It looks like so much fun. It's just again one of those unfortunate games where I'm like, I really want to play this, but it's like in my backlog against a whole bunch of other games that I just happen to want to play more.
Yeah.
But one day I'm gonna make sure that I get to it after finishing East probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
know.
looks like a really great series, and like you said before, the fans of this game are ardent supporters of the game and the series. So, whenever a game can command that kind of a fan base, it makes you want to give it another look.
Yeah, no, they're super chill like people. I don't know, like every fan base has like a different flavor almost. And whatever that
I get
means to the game. Yeah, but it just
Mhm.
that's how I feel whenever I stream a different game, right? Like I'm sure you stream a different game, those fans come and watch you. You get a sense of what that fan base is like. From what I've seen so far, like the Fuga fan base are just like super chill, super like courteous, super nice. So I can't wait to meet some of them when we do stream these games too.
Yeah.
Now, according to an interview with Famitsu, the game is about 60% completion. Save files from the first game will provide special content for the sequel. So that gives you some incentives to play the first game so that you can, get that special content, move on to the second game. It's going to be a 2023 release, no exact dates yet, on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox XS, the Switch, and PC. So basically everything.
All right. Looking forward to seeing more about that when it comes
Me
out.
too. It's so available. You don't have any excuse to like not play it other than,
Maybe playing the
if you
first
have
one
other
first.
games. Yeah, play the first one first. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe it's time we take a look at some industry news that's been going on. We got a few things that are pretty interesting. Baku, you kind of already introduced this subject at the top of the our top headline of this week, huh?
Have we?
Oh wait, not this one actually. I'm confused.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yep, I'm looking at the wrong one. Mine like a steel tarp. This one, I mean trap.
It's all good. Well, I'll take care of this one anyway. So, yeah. So now, before we start with the industry news and whatnot, I just want to say this really quickly for longtime viewers of the show. Start hitting industry news. We're kind of like in the tail end of the show. Not so today because there's a lot of industry news. Mix up for probably more than half of the things we're covering. Lots of merch jobs and lots of community fan news. So stick around. Don't like disappear. Like, oh, they're done for the day. All right, you got break that habit for the day. Let's start with this new game from D3 Publisher. Now, I would love to have included that in the game announcements, right? In fact, there's no name review for this game. They're calling it S_Maiden. Yeah, no name review. Something Maiden.
I bet it's
I bet it's
Project S
actually
Maiden.
something Maiden. Project S Maiden. I thought it was gonna just actually be something Maiden. The company said it will release more information on August 2nd, and wouldn't you know it, today is August 2nd. And as of the time, even right before the show went live, I even clicked on the video. I clicked on YouTube. I clicked on their official site. I clicked on everything. I clicked on their Twitter. Nothing. So maybe they just released something right now and I wouldn't even know it. But as of talking about this, there's no additional news. But I have included like a trailer, so we can look at a trailer.
Little teaser here.
Little teaser trailer.
All right, let's take a look at the teaser.
At least we have an idea what kind of thing we're looking at. Of course, it's samurai. Of course, it's a girl in schoolgirl uniform. Sure, okay, yeah, that's
I think you've already sold 90% of our viewers.
More information on August 2nd. They lied.
Well, I mean, is it August 2nd in Japan, or is that over too?
August 2nd in Japan is yesterday.
Okay, yeah, they lied.
It's now August 3rd in Japan.
Hang on, let me take a quick gander at something at the end of that teaser again.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to. Okay, they did add a year to that statement too. They did say 2022.
You thought it was gonna be 2023?
I was gonna say I didn't know if they included a year. If they just said August 2nd, it could be next August 2nd or 2024 August 2nd.
2030.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it looks pretty good. D3 Publisher has made a couple of games that are pretty interesting, including that Magnum Lord. That's them. So yeah. So we'll see what this game actually comes out to be. I think
D3 Publisher is the publisher, maybe not the developer though, right?
Oh, the publisher. Yeah. I was just meant they picked up some pretty good games.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. So probably next time we'll come back to this.
Yeah, we'll give you guys updates when they come, because that looks like a pretty interesting teaser so far. It's definitely got my attention. I mean, something between the schoolgirls with a samurai sword and like I mean, something about that just like speaks to me. I think that is my inner weeb. But we'll talk about that when it comes out. Yeah. So we do have some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet updates coming out here pretty soon because
Yes.
Nintendo is hosting a Pokemon Presents tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time at their official YouTube channel. The presentation will provide updates about different Pokemon apps and games, including Scarlet and Violet. There is a link to that presentation, which you can find in the description down below. It's just basically a link to their live page. They'll go live tomorrow and talk about stuff. So if you are champing at the bit for some Pokemon Scarlet and Violet info, stay tuned.
Listen, those new professors, they're hot. They feel so really hot. I think that's the thing that like everyone's been talking about with the new Pokemon is how hot the new professors are. And look, I forgot where I saw it, but they actually did like a comparison of like all the different professors like through the years, like starting from the very first game, every single game, and they show all the professors, and they just like out of nowhere, so these professors are just amazing looking people. Like, what happened?
They just like fashion.
What are you doing
models
here?
I mean, they started with Professor Oak, who just looks like a dude in a Hawaiian shirt. He's like, "Yep, I'm a professor." Professor in what?
Pokemonology.
Yep.
Pokemon science.
I think you mean Poke Science.
Oh, yes, right. I have a PhD. Oh no, I have a PhD in Poke Science.
No, I think you mean I have a Poke D.
Yeah.
In Poke Science. My Poke Doctorate.
Yeah. But yeah, these new professors are like amazing hot. Like, what did you do, Pokemon Company? All right, so let's talk leaks now. And just so you know, none of these things that I'm about to say to you is confirmed, but here we go. Now, according to the newest leak from a site called psdeals.net, I know it's just a weird place to get this news from.
Okay.
Tactics Ogre Reborn may be releasing in November 11 of this year.
11,
in
11,
addition to
huh?
the 11/11, yeah. Now in it, actually, you know what? Did you know that 11/11 in I think in China is Single Awareness Day?
It's what awareness?
Singles Awareness Day.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure. In China is Singles Awareness Day. Yeah, you guys can look it up. November 11.
Interesting. I think of 11/11 specifically as like the date that Skyrim released for the first time on 11/11/11.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that was 11 years ago. Could this leak be hinting at a re-release?
Skyrim
of a re-release
Reborn.
of Skyrim?
Skyrim Reborn. Now, in addition to the date, the site also provided. Now, if it was just the date, I would have just like not even bothered talking about it. But the site did provide some interesting details, which led me to want to share this. So here we go. The game will largely be based on the PSP games. The AIs will be completely revamped. Arts will be recreated in HD. There will be full English and Japanese voiced dialogues, which is definitely something new, and a lot of people are looking forward to it. They're changing the level from class-based to unit-based, which is something that a lot of folks have complained about in the PSP version. In the original Super Nintendo version, it is just unit-based. Like every unit has their own level. And then PSP, it's by the class. Like you level by the class. But now they're changing back, I think, to unit-based. There will be other quality of life improvements, including increased battle speed. There are also some leaked screenshots of the game that you can probably see. Do you want to look at them? Do you want to see the leaked screenshot?
Yeah, I would.
I need to find it though. Hang on. Because it's not on that page per se. Hang on.
So just to reiterate to everybody, what we're talking about here are unconfirmed rumors that may be leaks. They might just be somebody making stuff up. But when he mentioned the screenshots though of this unannounced game so far, okay, suddenly I'm thinking it's getting a little more credence here. If it
Yes. Okay.
depends on what it looks like though. You have it
Want to
pulled up?
switch over?
You bet.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
here we go. Is that big enough? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is sort of the HD sprite, and I could definitely see this being real.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a lot of like anti-aliasing kind of like updated sprites. They've kept it mostly the same. Definitely the UI has cleaned up quite a bit, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
The UI is a lot messier. The map has definitely been touched up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot crisper. Everything looks a lot crisper. Now it's by unit level, as you can see. So that actually goes in corresponding to what they said.
Hmm.
Because it used to be by the class, like I said, but now it's like every unit has their own levels.
Man.
All the spells has been redone. You can see like new icons for a lot of things. These cards, you know, has sort of been redone as well in the battlefield. So like like you said, now that they have these screenshots, like it does lead to more credence to this being a real leak. Obviously, it could just be something just super what's the word? You know, super well made, like super elaborate.
Yeah.
But I also feel like maybe not. Um Now obviously again, Square Enix has not said anything at all about this remake. But from what I'm seeing so far, this actually looks pretty legitimate.
Yeah. It looks
I
pretty.
have reasons to
It
believe
looks
that this
legit
may
in a
be
couple
real. Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
That looks really nice. I feel kind of bad for Square Enix at this point because like this game has been leaked so many ways and so many times, and they're
Mhm.
just like pretending it doesn't exist. But like there was the Nvidia leak, and then there's all these other things pointing to it, and then there's this. It's like can we just not let the game just be released whenever
I
they want?
know.
I
I
mean,
know.
it's cool, but man, I would much rather have been excited by like a trailer.
Yeah, or like a legitimate like announcement, please. Like this game deserves so much. This is I can't stress this enough. This is probably the quintessential tactical RPG game
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, all these people think Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics got most of their stuff from this. This is the predecessor. And being the predecessor, it is not worse than FF Tactics. In many ways, I think the predecessor is actually better than FF Tactics. But you know, that's my humble opinion. But nonetheless, like, look, if you think FF Tactics good, like, and you have not played Tactics Ogre, I think this is you're missing out if you're a fan of FFT. Now, one last thing that I think is pretty interesting, they did leave this tidbit in there. There is probably going to be a disc version, and PS4 disc owner can download the digital version of PS5 for free, but must use the disc to play every time, which actually would be like a FF7 remake. So FF7 remake had a similar policy where you have the PS4 disc, you can download the PS5 version of the game with, like, you know, the 4K native, but you need the PS4 disc to play it. So
Yeah.
so that actually makes sense given that this is Square Enix having a similar policy. Now again, please hype responsibly because this is not an official announcement. Good God, would I kill to have an official announcement at this point? Look, listen, Square Enix,
Yep.
if this game is real and November 11th is the day, you've got like 3 months. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Please.
I Man, I just hate that there are so many leaks out there. Honestly, I'd rather just be surprised for once. But okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Good job, PS Deals. You leaked it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, moving along, Cygames have announced that they have acquired the rights to the Metal Max series. Some
The
time
headliner.
ago, I think it was actually maybe just a few weeks ago, we talked about how
Yeah.
Metal Max Wild West was canceled, and we were
Mhm,
not really given a very satisfying reason as to why it was canceled.
mhm,
Now, we might have a pretty good guess as to why that is. So,
mhm.
Cygames is, well, they're the makers of Grand Blue Fantasy, and they've announced that it has purchased the Mad Max series from Karakawa Games along with the IP. And the series creator Hiroshi Miyaoka is also going to be transitioning over to Cygames to lead development on the console based title for the series.
That's correct. And I think that last bit is very significant because Cygames is known for, again, the Grand Blue Fantasy series, which for anyone who knows what that is a gotcha game. So I think a lot of people are kind of concerned that they're going to turn Metal Max into a gotcha game.
Mm.
But they've stated pretty firmly that Hiroshi Miyaoka, which is the series creator, we'll be working on a console-based title.
Yeah.
Now, can it still be gacha? Sure. I mean, you could put gacha anywhere. But it's looking like they're not trying to do gacha first, at least. That they're really trying to bring about a new console experience for the Metal Max series. And part of me thinks that this is great because I think Kadokawa has obviously kind of given up on the series from poor sales and just not really putting resources in. Maybe this is the fresh change that the series need, like a new a company that'll work on it that really likes the game and can be passionate about it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to have a good positive outlook for it. We'll wait to see what kind of things they show us.
Yeah. Time to be a little bit optimistic, but cautiously so.
We have to repeat high responsibility a lot today. Yeah. All
Baku's trying to
right.
move a lot of shirts today, I guess.
Oh yeah. Mint green and ice blue, guys. Also, did you guys know that there's a HitPoint T-shirt in black? I should have worn that today.
I should have worn
I
mine
should have worn
today.
that today. I should have worn that today. You know what? Next time I'll wear one of the shirts and you wear the other one. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna sell some T-shirts. All right. Next piece of news, we got some PlayStation news. This is kind of all bundled together. It's really two things. Let's start with this PS Plus Essential. Remember, guys, there are 3 tiers of PS Plus now, and PS Plus Essential is like the lowest tier, where
Mhm.
you still get your free games, just like the original PS Plus subscription. And now the free games for August is gonna be Yakuza Like a Dragon, Little Nightmares, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Who cares?
Hey, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Awesome. No, seriously, I actually really love those games. Shut
Cool.
up.
Yeah, no, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And so definitely give Yakuza Like a Dragon a try. If you have the PS Plus Essential and you have not played the game. Also, Little Nightmares, amazing game. So those are 2 games right there that I can definitely recommend. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater apparently is cool according to
Dude,
Derek. So
I've
yeah,
already
there
got
you go.
Goldfinger playing Superman in the back of my head right now. It's great.
Yeah, so we got some good games from PlayStation. The second piece of news, Sony rolled out an invitation only system software beta for PS5 that will allow the console to display at 1440p.
Mm,
I know it seems like not a whole lot of things, but for people like me, I have 2 1440p monitors, right? And so I have not been able to get that support because it's native 4K, right? But it
yeah.
just downscales to 1080. And I'm just like, dude,
Oh,
what gives? Like, yeah. So now they're going to have 1440p coming soon. Now, this is invitation only, so you may not get this software. And if you are selected to participate in the beta, you will receive an email invitation and when it's available to download. So you should have seen the email by now. Now, along with the 1440p, there are other improvements such as being able to create game lists, which will come later, and the ability to compare 3D audio versus stereo audio a lot quicker. So you don't have to like go all the way back out and then like try to change some stuff and go back in. Like they're gonna make it easy for you to just compare and contrast, so you can just pick which one sounds better for what game.
Yeah.
So all welcoming changes. It might change later on in the full release. This is just a beta, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Radical.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move along now. We've covered all of the main industry news, but we have some merch drops coming out here. Starting with super groupies. Wait a minute, what? Does Japan know what a groupie is? Super Groupies Kingdom Hearts Collection. The 20th anniversary collaboration fashion items can now be seen at Super Groupies site. The collection includes characters themed watches, jackets, umbrellas, backpacks, and wallets. If you are interested, please be sure to pre-order it because those pre-orders open on the 14th of this month. So just a couple weeks away, actually.
Do you want to take a look at some of the stuff?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have it pulled up?
I do.
All right.
Okay. Yes. So these are the couple characters, all of which they have their own lines of thing, like Sora, and even like Terra, and Aqua and such. So, I have not played. I'm just gonna pretend to know who these characters are.
I know who all of them are.
Okay.
Except I'm not sure who Shion is. That's weird.
It's almost like she doesn't exist. Okay, so this is what we're talking about, right? So it's got some really cool watches, actually. I do own a super groupie watch, and they're pretty nice. I'm not sure about the rest of the items though. So yeah, that's Sora, and then you can see Riku stuff, and it's like a completely different design for the watch plates. Everything is just a little different.
Okay, that actually this is starting to look pretty rad, but this is so detailed. This has to be too expensive.
It's a little pricey, but if you are a huge fan and you are quite a fashionista, I think that's something that you're not going to. And also, there's the Disney Premium, I'm sure. So I'm sure there's the Disney Premium. This is Disney. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So again, every character has to like their an insignia, if you will, and their color scheme. So take a look at it. We're not going to look at everything, but it's there.
Yeah.
All right.
That actually looks pretty cool. It looks inspired by Nomura's aesthetic, which was always something that really appealed to me back when Kingdom Hearts first came out. I was like, if I could have got clothes that looked like that back in the day, I would have stood out like a sore thumb in high school, but middle school. But
I mean, you just need to go to Hot Topics and get something with lots of zippers and just layer it the right way.
No, it's different. It's just.
I think it's gonna be expensive no matter what you do.
I agree. It's definitely I mean, the way that everything is like lined with high detail, high textured, different fabrics and custom prints.
Yeah,
like that's not
and also
cheap.
Low, probably small batches
print run
too. Yeah, small runs. Yeah, this is not exactly mass produced stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next we got a Nintendo Xenoblade Chronicles 3 sweepstakes. I know a lot of people were talking about Xenoblade 3 earlier. I don't look at you guys in the chat there. It's like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 all over the place. So there's a sweepstake this is for folks living in the US and Canada, and it's going to run between July 21st and September 14th. Each of the 10 winners, actually, do you want to pull up my page again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
So each of the 10 winners will be eligible to win this right here, which is, what are they called? A metal sublimation print. Actually looks pretty sick. A sidekick sling bag with, I think that's Mio and what's his face? Don't know the character's name yet, and don't tell me because I haven't looked at any of the stuff, so I want to be surprised. And then the 2 Nopon who will join your party. These are insulated water bottle set and also some postcards. Now, how do you enter? Well, the link is down below. You don't have to do it right now. Okay, you have until September 14th. So just watch the rest of the show first, please. But the link is down below. Please, just hold on. It's not going anywhere. And it's going to cost you 10 platinum points, I believe. Yeah, it's going to cost you 10 platinum points to enter, and each account can be entered 3 times. So, you know, if you don't know what you're doing those platinum points, and you like the game, why not? Right? I already did my entry, so I think you should do yours. So again, link down below if you're interested.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
So we have a little bit of additional merch news that we can talk about here as well. So we got some more Fire Emblem Three Houses Pop-Up Parade figures. So pre-orders for Cloud and Listeria. I'm sorry, Lysithia. I was gonna say Listeria is like
Isn't that like something that kills you?
Yeah, it's like a foodborne illness. Cloud and Lysithia are finally up at Ami Ami and the GSC USI. So
the Good Small Company, yeah.
Yeah. So there they is.
Yeah, because we talked about them before, right? We talked about before, and someone pointed out, oh, actually, the pre-orders coming in August, and the pre-orders here. So this time it's going to be the Golden Deer, and this is Chloe, the leader of the Golden Deer. That's the pop-up parade figure, and then Lysithia, who is also part of the Golden Deer House. So now we've got basically 2 figures for each of the 3 houses. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. All right. So, hey, fans, I know there are a lot of you guys out there.
There are.
Definitely check those out. All right. So, as promised, we have a lot of fan community project news. 3 exactly. So let's go through them. Nier Automata has been on the news lately, and I'm sure some of you guys are just kind of confused. This game is like 5 years old. Like, what could they be talking about?
Didn't we?
The
I think we mentioned
Switch,
this one a little bit at the end of the last episode, right?
Did we?
I think.
I think we
I think
might
we
have.
touched on it a little bit with the. Okay, well, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the Switch group. The Switch port is definitely not anything to write home about. So what gives? Well, let's talk about it. There is a Reddit user named Sat Futago who posted in the Nier subreddit about a hidden door in the Copy City area, and then subsequently posted a video showing said hidden area in the game. Now, the community has been extremely split between calling this thing a straight up hoax, and people actually want to spend the time to investigate into it because it may be true. Many have tried to visit the area shown in the video, but they were not able to access the area, right? And the analysis on the game data also came back with basically nothing. So it seems like this thing is probably fake, except for one tiny problem. No existing mod tools from the front leading modders, I should call them, like from all the leading modders have chimed in and say no tools could have created this.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so perplexing, right? On the one hand, no one can replicate this. But on the other hand, all the leading modders are like, yeah, we don't have a tool that could make stuff like this. This is extremely elaborate and extremely well done. So what the heck is going on? Do you want to take a look at the video it's over in my screen? Because it's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. So is this the area that shouldn't exist or no?
Yeah. Sorry if you guys don't hear any sounds though.
This is the area.
I usually don't share things with sounds.
Yeah, we don't have any sound, but this is the area that that normally.
Yeah, I just want to show you like the area and how like basically this person's claiming, oh, hey, this is a new area. And that's what they're saying is this place is so elaborate that basically they don't have tools that could have made these things. Yes, they could use existing assets and change it. But a lot of these things are just completely new assets, right?
Yeah.
And they weren't sure how that was done. So
Huh.
what exactly is it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Before that, there's a little bit more. And yeah. So, and according to Lance McDonald, who, by the way, is the Twitter that we're looking at. That's his Twitter. He is the modder that's credited with finding the game's final secrets. So he's definitely like into the community, and even he's saying like, yeah, we couldn't have created this. Yoko Taro and Yosuke Saito also commented on the video. Like they saw this. Yoko Taro saw the video and commented on it, but as Yoko Taro would, he would not confirm or deny the authenticity. They're like, yeah, you figure it out.
He seems like the kind of person who would revel in the mystery, right?
Oh, he loves the chaos.
The guy who wears a moon mask. The guy who wears a mask revels in the mystery. Go figure.
Yeah. So they didn't confirm or deny the authenticity. So what exactly is this? Okay. So after a couple of days of speculation that sent the entire modding community in a wild goose chase, Sad Futago finally came back with a Twitch link that broadcasted them live playing through the newly constructed sequence and area using a brand new modding tool that they had developed. The developer team apologized for misleading everyone and promised to make the new tools open source for the entire modding community. So all's well that ends well. Yeah, it's like, sure, you've driven like a couple of people crazy, but with these new tools and they're making it open, there could be a lot of people out there who can make really interesting add-ons to this game. So that's something to be excited about, especially because this game is phenomenal on its own. But being able to make super high quality mods that are indistinguishable to like new content, that is huge for the game like this.
Yeah.
So super awesome stuff.
That's pretty rad. I feel a little disappointed that it wasn't some long hidden secret though that they just discovered.
I know. I was really hoping that was the case too. I even made like a tweet post about it. It was just like, yeah, I'm just really hoping this is like an actual secret. But I digress. It is what it is. They came clean. They didn't lead people astray more like longer than they had to. So I respect that. Right. All right. Next up, we've got Digimon Survive getting review bombed. Did you guys hear about this? Did you hear about this, Derek?
I did not hear about this. Why would people review bomb Digimon Survive?
Well, apparently, they didn't like that there are visual novel elements in there, as if like they didn't tell us way ahead that there would be visual novel elements in. So, people are just not happy about it, which led to some trolls review bombing on Metacritic. At one point, the score for the PS4 version dipped down to 0.9, for the Switch version 1.6, and for the Xbox One version 0.5. So pretty crazy bombing. Now, not to worry for fans though. The score has been back up to at least 6+ before we start this broadcast. So it's going back up. Now, obviously, some complaints are probably legitimate. Okay, no game is perfect. All right. But it's pretty easy to spot the troll when they literally copy and paste the exact same verbiage for all platform, like with the intention to just bomb this thing. So, I think it kind of brings into question, like, do you guys even look at the review scores? Because I don't. Derek, do you ever look at review scores for these things like Metacritic?
I don't actually. I am now because I'm curious to see like what some reviewers said, and it looks like it's getting like 80s and stuff, which is not bad. And it looks like Metacritic's back up to like 7.8 for the Switch port. For the user store. So
nice.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like scores in general, I've got a position about it. I talk about it in like my video talking about what is the game collection and why I don't really give review scores. It just doesn't seem helpful, I guess. Like maybe at a glance it might be a good way to tell you like, oh, this game's phenomenal, this game's mediocre, but I don't know. Personally, I think it's just difficult to put a number on a highly subjective experience, but review bombing a game for uh, having some of these mechanics of the visual novel style elements is just
Mhm.
like, could you imagine them review bombing like Persona for having visual novel style elements?
Oh my god, I'm learning the hard way again. Reminded that Persona is more visual novel than actual dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every time I was like, yeah, I'm barely ever fighting anything. And most of the time that I'm playing this game is just building relationships and talking to people and making choices,
I feel like
which
it's
is
about
fine.
50-50 actually.
Right.
It feels about 50-50. And it's weird. It's one of those things where it's like in Persona at least it swings completely
Mhm.
one way and then it swings completely the other way.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a homogeneous mixture. It's definitely different. So anyway,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I like it though. I like it, but yeah, just people review bombing Digimon Survive of all things. It's just that's just unfortunate. As if they
yeah,
did as if they're not having a hard enough time trying to
exactly.
survive against Xenoblade 3. We don't need they don't need to be reveal bombed, guys. Like calm down,
I mean,
right?
as if the
Um
Digimon series in and of itself is like it's a miracle that it even had another game, let alone a uh, a game that tried to go a little like darker themed, right? Like
yeah, exactly.
this- it's just so weird and people suck. That's all
Yeah.
I can really say.
Yeah, I think say what you want about Digimon Survive, and it could be not a great game. Like I haven't played it
Yeah,
yet, but
yeah, but review bombing a bad game
yeah,
is
review
still
bombing is
dumb.
just yeah,
Like even if you're review
shaking my
bombing a
head.
bad game, like just just give a proper review, I guess. It's
Yeah, yeah. So some of these trolls, man. But
yeah.
I give them credit for trying something different here, at least. It is not like an action game. They're stepping away from the, sort of the typical turn-based RPG. They're doing something different with darker story. Kind of like it. So, all right. Moving on to the last piece of news. Take it away, Derek, because I know nothing about Persona 2.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. So speaking of Persona,
Mhm.
and some of those visual novel elements, well, you'll first of all be happy to hear that there aren't any of those in Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. That's a heck of a segue. But the reason that I'm particularly interested in talking about Persona 2 Eternal Punishment today is because out of freaking nowhere, the Persona 2 PSP version, Eternal Punishment, finally got a fan translation by a group of fans that is now available for free
Woo!
to download in the link in the description down below. Uh,
Yes.
most of the translation was taken from the official PlayStation translation, while Tatsuya's character was also used with permission from Strange Shrimp and Oseki Ayo. I hope I said that right.
Ah, good enough.
So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Oseki, yeah.
so yeah, Tatsuya's scenario was used with permission because I believe his scenario was cut from the original game, kind of like how Snow Queen
Mhm,
was cut from the original PSP version of
mhm.
the. So,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, that's exciting news because, well, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment is it's the only one that we ever got here officially in the West, right? But
Mhm,
Persona 2 Innocent Sin was the very first in this duology. Basically, it's two games. They tell two halves of the same
mhm.
story, but follow different casts of characters. I loved my playthrough of Innocent Sin, and then when it got time for me to play Eternal Punishment, it was such a step backwards as far as like all of the quality of life improvements, the gameplay,
Mhm.
just everything just felt like, ugh,
I
like
know, I know.
a big step backwards. And it
Mhm.
had been rumored that some people were working on a fan translation, and this was back when I reviewed Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Let me do a quick Google search here of when that was, because
So
I
yeah,
am
as
very
far
curious. Okay, that came out in May 2015. So this fan translation has been over 7 years in the works. I don't know if it's the same
mm,
team or a different team, but it is finally out on
yes.
GitHub. Check it out. It will be I'm pretty sure the definitive way to play the game on your
Yeah,
PSP.
absolutely. Yeah, and anyone who's just really looking forward to that PSP, rejoice! It's there now. And yes, for anyone who's curious, yes, the PS version, or the PSX version, anyways, had the official translation, which is what we're saying. Like
Yeah.
the PSP, they took the PSX translation, and then they took someone else's work with their permission on the Tatsuya's scenario, and I believe that is new in the PSP version.
Yes,
So it's a
exactly.
mix of two sets of translations, if you will.
Yeah. Exciting. It's really
Yes,
exciting.
I know.
All right.
Yeah. So
Well,
are you gonna give it a shot? Are you gonna go back and try to play it again?
dude, that game was like 100 hours. No. I ain't got time for that. I would.
See through of a guy.
I've already experienced the story too, so it's hard. It's a hard sell for me to spend my time that way.
It really is. It really is.
But for
anyone
anybody
has
who
not played
hasn't, they should
yeah.
definitely do it.
Yeah.
You know, I might give it a gosh, maybe I could do like an experience points.
Yeah, you can just do like a quick look.
I've got too much on my plate already because I've got 3 games that I have lined up to do an experience points video talking about. But anyways, before we wrap up today's episode of Hit Point, we do have some super chats from the chat that we should take a quick look at here. Starting with RPGs with Rufus, who says, the faux brick that you made for your studio / game room, it's so dope and so inspirational. Love that you put so much work into that. It's a total vibe. Thank you so much, RPGs with Rufus. Very much appreciate that. Does my heart a bit of good to hear that, because I did put in a bit of work into that.
Don't you have a tutorial?
I made a whole video showing how I did it, and basically just got a whole bunch of styrofoam. I DIY'd a foam hot knife, basically a hot cutter out of, God, I can't remember the name of the metal anymore, but just sliced it up, coated it with some stuff. It was a fun project. I'm glad that that's worked out so well, and thank you again.
I remember you making a video for that.
I know it definitely doesn't fit in with the rest of my content, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We got another message here from Still Alive, who says, "Hey guys,
hello.
Just wondering if either of you listen to RPG or video game music in general in your cars when driving, or what you listen to on like a YouTube playlist." Or
absolutely. In fact, I think I want to say about like 70% of my playlists in my car are just RPG music. Not necessarily straight from the game either. So for example,
like remasters,
there is,
remixes.
No, actually. Well, yes and no. Like an orchestral mix, for example, like the Distant World concert that we talked about sometime before. So the Final Fantasy series has this series of concerts with like symphonic music called Distant World, and in fact they're having a new tour, I think, coming up soon too. So I'll be listening to their CDs in there. Recently I got really into Caligula Effects 2. That soundtrack was amazing. So I was listening to that. Otherwise, yes, I do listen to some other game music. So what about you, Derek? Are you into this stuff?
Yeah, dude. Like I would probably be embarrassed to tell you how often I listen to the Persona 5 soundtrack. Just like
no shame.
I mean, it's so good. It's also
so good. Yeah.
I also listen to I've been listening to rather the soundtrack to Air Gear, which is not an RPG, but it's an anime series from a while back that I really enjoyed. And I know it's not an RPG, but it's definitely a weird choice, but it just feels so right when I'm riding around on my e-bike.
Oh, I see you.
Yeah. So, but otherwise, yeah, I've also been listening to a lot of Eric Ladd from Retro Game Remix, good buddy of mine, who recently released his Earthbound album on vinyl, and I love to spin that every once in a while.
Mhm.
Yeah, just I also really enjoyed. There's a lot of remixes out there as well that.
Oh, OC Remix.
Oh yes,
OC Remix. There is a Chrono Trigger jazz album that I can't stop recommending to people.
even
It is so good.
even
It's so good.
even on the subject of that, I have a separate Chrono Trigger jazz album that I always have to recommend, and that's the official one that came
Ooh.
from Yasunori Mitsuda, who arranged the. The. It's called. Mm, darn it! I
I
have
don't
the.
remember.
Hang on. Let me grab it real quick.
Okay. Let me talk to y'all while Derek grabs the album. But yeah, lots of these game music
The
music.
Brink
Oh,
of
there it is.
Time. This
Oh.
is it. This is the real deal,
Mhm.
and it is so nice. Um,
It looks.
if you're a
I'm so
fan,
jealous.
get it because it. I mean, you can also listen to it on YouTube if you want, but God, my only regret is that it wasn't ever released on vinyl because that would be.
You and your vinyls.
I know.
Just, you stop being a hipster. Just please, for a day.
Nope.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, we have one last super chat here from RPGs with Rufus, who says this has
Hey.
been such a fun podcast. Thank you guys so much. Well, thank you for hanging out with us today, RPGs
Yeah.
with Rufus, and thank you for the super chats as well and the support. Thank you, everybody. I hope you all had a great evening, and well, I think that about does it for today's episode. So if you liked it,
Yes.
be sure to hit the like button on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be listening or enjoying on. And make sure you get subscribed so you'll see when we put out our next episode, which is not that far away this time because we'll be back at it again on Sunday if all goes well.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. 5 days. 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be enough news to put together. But until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And until then, have a great rest of your day. Baku, do you want to leave the folks with any closing thoughts?
Derek and I are working on things. I promise.
Perfect.
You'll see things. Just please. The guilt is killing us.